fight fans, and welcome to the Square Circle, where we are pound for pound the best at discussing the past, future, and present in boxing. I'm your host, David Hamlin, and in tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the heavyweight division with all the fights that just took place, and we're going to talk about the state in which it's in and who's going to be at the top of the mountain when this is all said and done. You don't want to miss it, so don't go anywhere. Stay right there. Okay, so here we are with another installment of the Square Circle. Let's talk about Joseph Parker versus Anthony Joshua. Some people like to call him AJ. The Brits love AJ. He can really sell out a freaking stadium, can he not? I mean, look at this 80,000 freaking people, man, that he just brings out. That's nuts. I'll give him that. But this dude is robotic. Have you watched his footwork? Man, that dude's footwork, he just acts like he's like just stuck to the damn canvas sometimes, man. He's got really good technique. I like what I see. You can't knock him. I mean, he's undefeated. He's a gold medal winner in the Olympics. I mean, that's a beautiful accomplishment. You know, you can't take that away from him. And with fighting Joseph Parker showed a lot in that fight. He showed that he is no pushover. He belongs with the top guys in that division. Not that it's a stacked division, but right now it's a lot better than it was. I mean, we're coming off of like 2 decades that were just run by the Klitschko brothers. And as much as you like those guys, I mean, I'm getting kind of sick of the jab, right hand, hold type of fight. You know, no one wants to see that in the heavyweight division anymore. We all kind of moved past that. So watching this fight with him and Parker was pretty good, except for the ref. I mean, what was that referee doing? That was the worst refereeing I've ever seen. It was in the top... Shit. Let's just judge that for a minute. Would you place that top 10 worst reffing jobs in a title fight? I mean, comment below, let me know what fights you thought were just awfully reffed, and you know, see if you agree with me on this. But man, what was he doing? He was working majorly in the favor of AJ. Every time they would get close, AJ would grab him and hold and tie him up, and I thought he really needed a point taken away, or at least several warnings for holding, because that was way too much holding going on. And Parker showed a lot of determination, and he would rip some good body shots and stuff like that when he would get on the inside. And that jab, he would throw, you know, triple, quadruple jabs, fast and snappy. But Joshua was still able to outland him and out jab him. And if we take a look at the punch stats right here, you'll see what I'm talking about. And it was a pretty well contested fight, but I just think that he was, being Joshua, he was too robotic. I just get really annoyed with watching that sometimes. I think he could do a little bit better, but he's just so muscle bound that it just looks like he can't do any upper body movement. Like, I don't get that European style. I mean, I know that's how they do things over there anyways, but when he gets in there with Deontay Wilder, he's going to have to really know how to slip some punches and roll some punches sometimes, because, I mean, that length and speed and power that Wilder brings to the table is going to give Joshua tons of problems. And that's the fight that we're going to be breaking down in the future. And that's the fight that everybody wants to see. So let's go back now and let's talk about the fight with Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. That fight was pretty amazing. I mean, I know we're a little late on jumping on board with that, but again, you know, I had to get that editing and equipment setting up and doing all that stuff, getting all the accounts set up. I mean, that's a lot of stuff to do. I mean, it's not like I'd be doing anything else, you know? So anyways, yeah, that fight was back and forth with Wilder and Ortiz. Ortiz really showed why he's ranked in the top 3. I mean, at least with me, I thought he was a top 3 heavyweight, along with I think Parker was probably more like a maybe fifth rated or something like that. But I would put Ortiz in the top 3 alongside with Joshua and Wilder. He showed lots of skill in the past, and I know everybody wants to rip pretty much every fighter in the heavyweight division just because there's not as much room to brag when it comes to that division. I mean, it's not like there's tons of attention towards like all top 10 fighters, and so the pickings are a little slim. But I think that the division is getting a little bit better now. It's getting entertaining. These fights haven't been complete duds like we have seen in the past. And with Wilder stopping Ortiz the way he did, that really just kind of puts the heavyweight division in a sweet spot right now, because you got the 2 champs, both Olympians, both good heavy hitters, even though Wilder is by far the favorite when it comes to punching power. But I mean, that's just setting up a great entertaining fight, and I think we're really going to enjoy it. Let's just face it, Wilder punches like a mule. I mean, that dude doesn't even have to hit you that hard, and he can do some bad things to you. I mean, with looking at the fight with Joshua and Klitschko, Joshua showed some good punching power, but we all know that Klitschko doesn't take a punch all that well. He's had some messy stoppages in the past. Corey Sanders, for one. You remember that one? That one was fun, right? Let's see. And Deontay Wilder really shows some fast foot movement and good upper body movement. He was able to slip a lot of shots. I mean, he did continue to get caught with that counter right hand stepping in, and Ortiz did a fantastic job with those counters, and he was constantly setting the pace of the fight and controlling distance. But eventually, as soon as he was able to get that straight right hand in, he was able to change the whole fight. Yes, he does bank on that a little bit. I mean, you got to be able to do some more things besides that. But he also did throw a few nice uppercuts, and I like what I saw overall, but he still has to slow it down after he gets his guy hurt. It's really fun to watch him rush in like a Wilder, but he's got to still have his freaking guard up. He can't just go all in like that, because with somebody that can really bang, like AJ, he might get caught coming in foolishly like that. Just because you got a guy hurt doesn't mean that it's a done deal. He's just so used to it going that way. So he still has to worry about, taking his time getting his guy out of there after he gets him hurt, I think. Plus, I want to talk a little bit about Floyd and these pictures coming out with him wearing some MMA gloves and saying that he is seriously training for an MMA fight with the UFC. Do you guys think that he's serious? Do you think he would actually go through with this? Why do you think that he's doing this? Don't you think it's a little foolish? I think it's kind of funny. I think that he misses the limelight already, and I think it'd be pretty stupid to think that you could jump in there and do anything with any top competitors in the UFC. He's never spent any time on the ground grappling and things like that, and kicking and strikes, and what does he know about any of that? I don't think that he is, a person known for his arm bars back in Grand Rapids. I don't think that's what they did back then. But he is a top athlete. He is very skilled, very athletic, So if he wants to be stupid enough to try that, I mean, I would still watch it. But, what do you guys think? Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate that. And we got lots more boxing coming up. So if you guys want to talk about anything specific, any specific fighter, any fight in the past, any fight coming up, anybody you want me to cover and discuss with me in this channel, just let me know. Comment below, and let's get talking boxing. So hit that like and subscribe, which I just said. And until next time, remember to keep those hands up. Thanks. Take care.